Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a video it's called 25 lessons I've learned in 25 years, and I hope you enjoy. Alright guys, so it was just my birthday a couple of days ago. It was my birthday on the 5th of October and I turned 25, and I always wanted to do that video. I know that a lot of people do it with whatever age they're turning basically, and I thought I would jump on the bandwagon. I didn't really watch any videos. I only watched one of them and I think I stole one idea, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of share like a little ramble video. It's kind of like get to know me better type of video, and I thought you guys would enjoy that, and I hope you will continue watching, and let's begin. Alright, so my first life lesson that I've actually learned this year, and that is really prominent in my life, is that life is unpredictable. And even if you think everything is 100% sure, like for example my wedding happening or certain other things that had to be cancelled, we know that we don't really have life in our hands like we think we do, and so we kind of need to like be grounded once in a while, I feel like, and appreciate the small little things, because we don't know what's going to happen, and we should just enjoy the moments we're in rather than already thinking about the next step and already thinking about what next to buy, where else to fly and things like that, because it's unpredictable and we don't know like what's gonna happen, and we don't know when we're be able to do these things we actually want to do. So that was definitely the first and I think most important lesson I've learned for this year, for sure. And yeah, I think it really grounds me as a person, and yeah, it's a really good lesson to be learned, I think. Alright, the next one is actually that plant-based milk tastes a lot better than cow milk, but I actually never really liked cow milk that much anyway. Like, I used to drink milk only in my coffee, just a little bit, and I didn't really like yogurt that much, and like I don't really like butter and things like that. The only thing I really enjoy is cheese, but other than that I don't really like dairy products as that much anyway. So for me it wasn't really that big of a deal to switch to plant-based milk, but I've started working in a plant-based coffee shop right now, and it's just amazing how many great alternatives there are out there. I'm not saying like I'm not vegetarian, and I'm also not like I'm still buying leather bags and things like that, but I still really like it. And if you haven't tried, there is probably a plant-based milk out there for everyone, and I really want to encourage you maybe trying it, because it's really good. Alright, the next one is sometimes you have to be spontaneous for the best things to happen to you. And I'm really a planning type of girl, but yeah, sometimes you have to take risks and be spontaneous, and then something great will happen to you that you maybe didn't expect. The fourth thing is that my mom is almost always right when it comes to bigger like life decisions, and I've listened to my mom a couple of times with like really important decisions, and that has almost always been a mistake. So yeah, that's a life lesson I've learned. Then number 5 is don't compare yourself to others, because you will never be them. And I think it's important to like remind yourself of that, even if you're like older than I am and you maybe don't have the problem of like this toxic social media environment that we're in at the moment. It's still, I think, very common to compare yourself to other people. Like, do they have better jobs, a nicer house, a dog, their children are better in school, I don't know, like things like that. But it's your life and it's beautiful the way it is, and we all should appreciate the things we have instead of like longing for the things we don't have, because honestly you always want to be more, and if you live that way you will never really be truly content. So I think it's really important to remind yourself how lucky you are to have certain things. So at least for me, I always try to not compare myself to the skinniest girl, the richest girl, the smartest girl, because I'm good the way I am, and I kind of need to remind myself of that sometimes. But I'm really good with kind of, yeah, having that mentality and yeah, living that way. Alright, the 6th lesson I've kind of learned is fake it until you make it. kind of like the hardest thing is to start, and if you pretend like you already know what you're doing, like going there with such a self-confidence and just try and do it, and sometimes you will be surprised on how well you actually do it, even though you don't really know what you're doing, because honestly most people don't really know what they're doing, they're just pretending. So jump on there and do it as well, because it will get you somewhere, I'm sure. The 7th lesson is don't Google your symptoms if you're sick, especially if you think you have corona. It's usually always wrong. The 9th one is traveling is the only thing you buy that makes you richer, and I've learned that. I miss America so much. Like, America is my chosen homeland. I love the United States. It's my favorite country ever, and I've traveled to so many countries, but the United States, just, I left my heart there, and it breaks my heart that I can't go back visiting. I really so sad not to be traveling, and I learned that traveling is honestly something to invest in, because you just get richer with experiences and with getting to know different cultures and ethnicities and people and foods and things like that, and that makes you richer, that makes your mind richer, that makes your soul richer, and I really miss that. The 10th point is buy quality, not quantity. I mean, that's what my channel is usually about. I mean, not because Louis Vuitton is stamped on there, it always has to be like the top not quality, but I don't think that's what I want to get across. But I always think it's good to be mindful, and it's good to be like resourceful and think about the things you really want and really need and that spark joy in you. And if you don't want anything anymore, then donate it and maybe like sell it and use it to buy something else, or recycle your things if you don't wear them. I think that's a really good thing. And if you buy something expensive, also use it. Like, don't let it sit in your cupboard and let it collect dust, because I think that's a thing that a lot of people also do. Don't trust too easily, but question people's intentions instead of being too naive. Preach, I don't need to explain that, I think. The next one, if people hate you, it says more about them than it does about you. And I think, I mean, hate and love is like a really, like they like really close to each other, because it always involves a lot of feelings. But still, if people hate you and if people try to tear you down, it says a lot about them. And you will always be hated and hopefully always be loved. And so you kind of have to stand above that, and that's what I've learned actually this year as well. And you can't always save the world and try and be nice to everyone and try and help everyone, because everyone will always pick something out that they don't like and use against you. But as long as you know that your heart is pure and that you do everything with the best intentions, you don't even listen to these haters, because haters gonna hate and ain'ters gonna ain't. Alright, so plants and flowers make me happy. I got this beautiful bouquet, guys. If you could see, like, do you see? This is my head. It's on the same like level as this bouquet. It's actually huge. Like, it just doesn't look that huge, but it's actually enormous. Like, in comparison to my Nano Speedy. Can you see? It's 10 times my Nano Speedy. So flowers and plants just spark joy in me. You don't have to prove anything to anyone except yourself. That's kind of like what the same with, like, people will always hate you, and you don't have to defend yourself, and don't have to make yourself vulnerable. But the only person who has to prove yourself, your lifestyle, your life choices is yourself, because as long as you're content, everything is fine, and everybody can shut up because it's your life. The 15th point is pay everything in cash if you can, because if you have cash in your wallet and it's gone, you know that it's gone, and then you should maybe slow down a little bit. But I feel like debit cards, and especially credit cards, are really dangerous, and people who want to like afford lots of nice things kind of like tend to overspend maybe a little bit. So yeah, I try to be really mindful with my money, and I do that with paying in cash. Bosses, professors, celebrity are only humans like you and me, and that's a life lesson I've learned, because I always like admire them, and like I still admire my professors and my doctors and like celebrities, because they're actually so talented, but also you kind of have to, yes, set them a step down and set them on your level, because they're just human. They have feelings, they go to the toilet, they do all of these things that you maybe don't think about, but yeah, and that's also how they, I think, want to be approached. And I think that is really, really an important lesson that I've learned over the years. And I think now it makes me understand them maybe a little bit better, and like how they react in certain situations, and maybe don't judge them as harshly. Alright, then the next one is intermittent fasting actually works. I've done intermittent fasting for 6 weeks or something, and I've lost 4 or 5 kilograms, so that's amazing. Alright guys, so the camera kind of died and I'm running through the other ones quick fire because I've been really rambling in this video. So the 18th point is, if people don't want to be in your life, you just have to let them go. The 19th is, taking breaks to reset yourself actually brings you further than working without a break. And I always say that, yeah, just taking a break, even if it's just like a 15-minute break from studying and things like that, you actually stop procrastinating that much, but start refreshed. So I think that's a really good one. Then consistency is key to everything. So if you're consistent, you will reach your goal, even if it takes a long time. Then material possessions make me happy, and that's okay. I feel like people get judged for liking material possessions, but I just really enjoy them. It makes my heart sing. It doesn't mean that I'm materialistic and that I don't care about like emotions and friends and things like that. I love my friends, and I would give everything that I own for my friends and family if I had to choose, but I still enjoy these things, and I feel like that's okay. I mean, you guys probably know because that's what my channel is about, but I still think people like me get judged for doing these things, and as long as it makes me happy and as long as I'm not hurting somebody doing that, then I think it's okay, and nobody should be judged for that. Then the next one is, you don't have to be constantly attainable. So it's okay switching off your phone and not being reachable for everyone all the time. The next one is, social media can be toxic, and you should unfollow people that you don't agree with or that make you feel bad about yourself, and that is really important. I will link a video by Caitlin Pulaski, I think that's her last name, down below. She did a video kind of about that, how she unfollowed 200 people, so I will link that down below, and she explained it really well, and I really agree with her. So if you want to check that out, I will put that in the description box. The 24th one, and I've already said that, is haters gonna hate and haters gonna hate, so just do your thing and don't mind other people's opinions. They should mind their own business anyway. And then 25th is, you're your worst critic. Nobody's gonna judge you as harshly as you judge yourself. So stop doing that. Stop standing in your own way and just try and reach your goals. So I hope this was somewhat entertaining. I thought this was a really nice video. I took a long time compiling all of these things because I think all of these kind of have, yeah, something that I learned for 25 years. And maybe if you're younger than me, maybe you've learned something. Maybe if you're older than me, for some of these, maybe you say, okay, Freya, grow up and maybe you'll see how life goes. I don't know, maybe I'm naive for some of these, but I still, that's what I've learned. That's what I live by at the moment in my current state of mind with my 25 years of being on this earth. So yeah, I hope you really like this. I hope this was entertaining and yeah, just like something to take on into your day, maybe something positive, maybe something you learned as well, or maybe it's something that you didn't know that you learned and now kind of look at with different eyes. So I really hope you like it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you for my next video. Bye bye.